Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcorian Guides, bringing you my S-Rank guide for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance on Revengeance difficulty. Today we are doing file R-03, entitled Mile High. And weirdly enough, I guess, for this video particularly, I didn't finish it before I did it again. That's weird. Alright, so yeah, this one contains Monsoon as the main boss fight, which I always thought was like the previous chapter, but no, it's this one. And starting off, the very first fight is just mostly regular cyborgs and police cyborgs. And then after you take out the main wave of regular cyborgs, well, at first you're going to get attacked. You can go for a parry and just immediately annihilate the police that are coming toward you. And then after those waves get destroyed, you're going to have a machine gun and a rocket launcher one spawn behind you. Immediately after taking these guys out will be an armored based one. And the thing with armored guys, and you'll see me do this very often, is I tend to use size in order to just get the stun so I can go ahead and just hit them without them having to block me or be stuck in like that constant parry situation, which is something that is not very ideal. So after you finish off that first fight, you do get a checkpoint. Luckily, it is a checkpoint and it does, checkpoint you after, of course, that fight. Of course, I don't know why I keep repeating the same thing. But anyway, so as far as I'm aware, I think it still counts toward this first fight. I think both of these share a rank. I know, I'm supposed to be paying attention, but things are going on so fast that my brain can't keep up right now. But yeah, just Ripper mode. If you see an armor guy, use the size on him to stun him, and there you go. Now you're going to deal with two grads. My recommendation is standing in front of one of them and having the other one behind the one you're standing in front of, so that way you can just, not get hit by any stray missiles or any stray shots that might come your way. And then, of course, just wait for your size to go into its stun mode, go into purple, and then, of course, whip out Ripper mode and just annihilate. Now, sometimes when I use Ripper mode, I tend to deactivate it while I'm in blade mode, so I can get the Zandatsu and just get it back. Just get a full one back, so then I can reactivate it. So you'll see me do that, quite often. These guys, I don't think you need to take them out, but if I'm not mistaken, I think you might have to in order to get the optional mission to spawn, possibly. So again, I'm not like 100% sure on everything I'm talking about, which, is usually the case. I never want to say like I'm absolutely for sure that everything I'm doing is correct, but at the very least, it doesn't look like the optional mission, which is not optional, by the way. It's, you're going to have to do it if you want S ranks. It's going to be the armored fight, as in like multiple armored enemies. And then for these guys, it's simply just a matter of, whether or not you want to stealth or not. That's completely up to you because they're just basic cyborgs. You can just blade mode and get rid of them. Easy. So, this next fight here, go ahead and equip the EM grenades and the pincer blades. And this is what I do. I would recommend using pincer blades in the air and not really on the ground. You can do either or, it doesn't really matter. I mean, fight them however you want, of course. But for me, I just go ahead and equip them. Okay, well, I guess I apparently took that one off. Well, alright, so, change of plans. Have size, I guess, for the first guy. You don't have to, but, yeah, I kind of screwed up and I lost my, I think, did I even equip? What? Okay, I guess change of plans, I guess. Apparently I did everything differently. Must have been a different ordeal. Anyway, so I'm going to give you two recommendations. You can either do what I did there, which is not necessarily like, I mean, nothing I really do is completely optimal, but you can go in with size and EM grenades and just, EM grenade everybody. You have to wait for them to spawn in, though, because one spawns in, and after one, they spawn in like the rest. And then when they do that, that's when you want to go ahead and just use the EM grenade to pop them down. And you could equip pincer blades to go for like a full charged, heavy attack. Or you can do pincer blades in the air and then do like a slam. But do be careful though, because like when you do slam on the ground, you have like a ton of ending lag. So just, watch out for that. It's unfortunate that it happens, but it is just what it is. I have not found a way to get rid of that ending lag just yet. Because usually a lot of the time with the pincer blades, if you go for like just a regular basic attack with it, which of course, requires using the heavy button, of course, but that's what it's set to. If you do like a basic attack, it will just, you can jump out of it and just cancel the attack. You can, well, I mean, you can cancel the ending animation of the attack. So for this part right here, I just use Ripper mode, go through, use size on the geckos, get some stuns, and just annihilate the geckos with Ripper mode, just completely. Jump right there. As soon as he's about to fire, just make that jump, so that way you can avoid that rocket shot, just in case, because typically it seems a lot of the time when I do a jump, I tend to avoid rockets. Also, when you're doing Zandatsu, do keep in mind that, of course, you know, you will have not only just iframes during it, but the time will return to normal when he's popping the electrolytes. So just, you know, keep that in mind. That way, like if you want to, like, you know, trick out a an RPG coming your way, you can do that. So for these guys, you know, with shields, parry works wonders. You can just parry a shield, and then I'll just completely destroy the shield. Or you can always do what I did there with just pincers and just annihilate them that way. Either way, take no damage in that fight, and you should get the S rank. It should be fine. Not really too difficult. It's just getting past that first RPG launch is pretty hard. And then after that, you have to kind of just get in quick enough to take out the RPG guy. And that's the part that honestly kind of sucks. So for here, a couple of options. I equip size just because of the armored guy being down here. And you could use the size on top of the flying enemies if you wanted to. I never really tend to because Metal Gear Rising has a really weird lock-on system with it, where sometimes you'll throw out your size, but you'll end up attacking like the guy that's close to you rather than the guy that you're looking at. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough to where it's like, okay, I don't want to use that as a reliable tool on birds too much. But I did here mainly because I just want to take out this guy. And as you saw, I took out the first couple of cyborgs. It doesn't really matter who you take out first, priority-wise. Now, granted, if I had to pick one, I would, of course, say, like, at the very least, the guys with machine guns, so that way you don't have to keep dashing around and then just accidentally get hit. And then, of course, one of the machine gun enemies would, of course, be the bird, the guy that's attached to the bird. So I guess you could consider that prior to number one because the armor guy is up the stairs and he's kind of farther away. So I would say, yeah, probably bird and, of course, the small cyborgs. Yeah, run up to the chest there to get these guys to spawn. But this is a secret fight, and I totally forgot this thing even existed, to be honest with you. But, yeah, so this is a secret fight, and it just contains at least, looks like, I think, just 3 cyborgs and 2 birds. And really, when it comes to birds, you can either do, like, the basic triangle attack with just regular blade to land up toward them, to do, like, that jumping kick thing. So you can go into an instant blade mode, or you can just do what I do with size. You know, again, I don't recommend size on them too much because if you want to get that stun, you're going to have to wait for it, of course. Now, granted, you could use the size without it, which will just connect you toward them anyway. But like, if you want to get blade mode and get like some time stop going, you know, the old classic Platinum Games trope, right? Which I absolutely adore, by the way. I love Clover and Platinum Games trope of doing like time-based gaming mechanics. I think it's really cool. And so, yeah, for them, it's just a matter of just watching out for the birds, getting them killed, because they're going to be really obnoxious to deal with. And then for this guy, couple guys are going to spawn in, but make sure you kill off the big giant sledgehammer guy first, as fast as you can. And if you can get him to bounce on the ground like that, and get him into blade mode, that's perfect, because these guys are going to start shooting you immediately as soon as they land. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, too, to watch out for. And then once these guys are killed off and completely gone, I think 2 sledgehammer guys spawn. And it's basically just a matter of doing size. Whether or not they have a stun on them or not, doesn't really matter. Stun is preferred, of course, but, you know, just go into rip mode when you attach to them, and then after that, just hit them in the air, you know, hit them a few times, and blade mode, or rip mode should do the rest. And Ripper mode is just insane in Revengeance. I don't know what. Well, I think the reason why is because Revengeance mode is kind of like, I think it's kind of like Heaven or Hell mode for Devil May Cry, where you do more damage, but the enemies do more damage as well. Of course, with Heaven or Hell, it's you know, 1 hit for each. But yeah, so for this fight, just take out the first guy. You don't have to Zandatsu if you don't want to, but you can if you wish. And I would recommend at least taking out Zandatsu on the next guy so you can get Ripper mode back. You want to take out the armor guys first and not focus on the helicopter. The helicopter's kind of too far away, and it has to get in close to you in order for it to start, you know, locking on and shooting you down. So take out the first couple of armored guys. Some basic, just, you know, triangle hits, just basic square hits. well, light and heavies should, you know, theoretically do the job. So for this area, I don't remember exactly how you're supposed to get the hostage freed, but I don't think I end up doing it anyway. Not like it really matters. It doesn't count against you in terms of S ranking, thankfully. But yeah, even though I used a red phosphorus grenade, they still end up shooting the guy anyway, because any sort of thing that triggers them to just activate and just, you know, get scared of something will immediately just turn them into wanting to shoot the hostage. And then after that, you know, using the smoke grenade to my advantage, I go into rip mode and I take down the armored guy. And then I just pretty much just clean house at this point. It's nothing really too special besides just constant birds all the time. They're so obnoxious. I hate fighting these things. Also, if you're doing a no upgrade run, of course you wouldn't have this because this is a skill. But having block in air is relatively very helpful in a lot of situations. When you're trying to like just jump dodge and just get out of the way of anything coming your way, it's kind of nice to have that. And just in the off chance that a bird goes for you in air and you attack him, and he goes for an attack, you could just parry that attack in air and, you know, be fine. But, yeah. Also for the bird things, for the bats, or whatever, they typically don't shoot for very long. They usually, you know, they don't shoot missiles and regular shots at the same time. Also for this guy, I kept trying to stealth him as best as I could, and I could never get him to get stealth. And the thing is, I killed him so damn fast that the other Mastiff right here just didn't even notice what was going on. And by the way, the Mastiff I just killed down the stairs, that's a Revengeance thing. That's a thing that pops up in Revengeance mode as they add enemies to this. For these guys, when it comes to Mastiffs, I recommend always doing Zandatsu in this section, just in case. So that way you can have Ripper mode full, in case you mess up a stealth kill and then end up having to fight them, you know, fully. So pretty much this first part of the tunnel is not too difficult, besides of course the first guy being in the way. And waiting on him for stealth just takes too damn long, so I just gave up on it and just annihilated him. And like I said, I killed him so fast to the point where it really didn't matter anymore, because the second guy just did not notice that I had cleaned his buddy's clock. And I said clock, by the way. I didn't clean anything else, maybe. I don't know. We'll see about that. But so, yeah. Basically, I cleaned him so fast that the other guy just didn't even notice what's going on. Even if he did, I was prepared for it. So, stealthing the first two guys is something you can do, but it just takes too long for me, because I always end up screwing it up, and I just kept restarting. I'm like, alright, just give up. And you'll see that happen a couple times in this playthrough. I'll just end up trying to do stealth and just be like, okay, this is not working. Which it happened, I think, in the last... Yeah, it happened in the last chapter where I fought those three Mastiffs so much because the checkpoint system was so bad. Like, when you die on that optional fight... I think I forgot to mention this in that chapter. When you die in that optional fight, you have to start the entire Mastiff thing again. It sucks. And I'm sure that people who, you know, play S-Ranks will probably know, like, that's the case. Okay, so for this section, you can stealth the entire thing. It is doable. It's more so a case of just watching out for, like, the tripods and just, you know, watching where they're at. But I decided to say, you know what, I'm done with the stealth thing. It just takes too long. It's just... These guys spot me every damn time. I'm so sick of it. So what I do is I pretty much just preemptively, you know, prepare for the onslaught of two Mastiffs. And the thing is with Mastiffs is when they're far away, as I'm sure most people know, but just in case people who are new to MGR, I guess I can tell them. So Mastiffs, like when they're kind of far away, they'll hang on to the ceiling and then they'll jump toward you and do an attack, which can be parried. And I use that to my advantage to take out the first guy first, because I know the other guy's too far away. And I would probably most likely know that he's going to go for an attack or a grab, because, you know, he's either going to jump on a wall, come toward me, or at the very least, he will be close enough to me that I can just see him going for something when he eventually gets there, which is why Rip Mode is just insane for that. Also, I think I actually got the data arm. That's nice. I didn't get all of them in the PC one yet, so I'm still missing apparently 5, it looks like. But not bad. So for these guys, fight them underneath the bridge. That way you can watch out for the grad. Yeah, just be careful of the grad dude here. And then knock down the bridge. Get your size, you know, ready for stun. Go for that 5-hit combo, and there you go. Grad is down. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So this part, again, you can just avoid these guys, and it should still be okay. But I kill everybody anyway, just in the off chance that for some reason the game just says, no, you had to kill them. I'm doing it just in case, and also why not just show it off for people that might want to do it anyway, and give them my own personal hint and my own personal touch of what I do. Also, I can't help but stare at Ryan's ass. Just wanted to say that out loud. Don't mind me, I'm just, intrusive thoughts are hitting again. So anyway, the first guy, relatively simple, just, go for a stealth kill, pretty easy. Granted, if you do get caught, it shouldn't be too bad as long as you got your size prepared for the stun. And then just go for Ripper mode and just annihilate Sledgehammer guys, because Ripper mode just destroys, man. It just kills. And it effectively kills, again, because Revengeance mode, from what I understand and from what I've heard and read online, I don't remember exactly where, but online somewhere, you do more damage and they do more damage, which is why parries do so much damage. So I'm not going to give any great advice on this part. Typically, I just say don't worry about stealth and just go for straight up kills. If you got an RP grenade, go for that. That should keep you, in cover. But I got extremely lucky with how I stealthed this. I don't know what happened, but for some odd reason, the guy that spotted me was too busy looking around, and then I hid underneath this, little platform here, got him. And then somehow I just evaded the Mastiff's sight, and I don't even know how, man. Also, completely off topic, but I have Metroid Dread just sitting here on my desk because I was playing it, I think, last weekend, because my friends were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, they were doing their own Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel, and they were like, let's see how fast you can beat Dread in the time that takes us to finish the duel. And then I beat the first boss, and that was about it. And goddamn, does Dread have an awesome looking cover. I love Metroid Dread. But anyway, back on topic. So these guys, once you kill the Mastiffs, you take out everybody. You're gonna have some, LQs. Not really Blade Wolf specifically, but just, the regular robot dogs. Nothing too hard to deal with. Just, a couple of up lights should do the trick. In Ripper mode should potentially kill them. If not, it should knock them in the air and get them away from you enough. And then this part here is relatively simple. This is, of course, after Sam talking to you about how much you're a bad person for killing, and yada, yada, yada. So, basically, you're just going to take out regular cyborgs. There is a rocket guy, so do be careful of that. And try to focus on getting him out of the way, because once he's gone, or at least once he's aggroed into wanting to go for close quarters combat, then he won't use RPG. Now, granted, if you de-aggro him from that, then of course he will probably whip out the RPG again, but still. So, I'm going to show something off that might be kind of weird. I'm going to speed this up. So, basically, I end up getting a checkpoint right there. I don't know how it happened, but somehow I checkpointed. After I killed that first guy, and I walked over to, that middle platform is where I got the checkpoint. Sorry it's so damn fast, but I kind of have to. This part really sucks. It takes so damn long to go through. And yes, you have to kill everybody. Ripper mode takes them down in 2 hits. A regular blade attack takes them down in 4, so keep that in mind. Now, what you want to do is you want to isolate the enemies, because you don't want any other enemy in the area, because you do not want to get shot while you're trying to fight these guys at the same time. Now, if you hit a fire extinguisher, it should make it to where the enemies are going to go investigate, and that should, as far as I'm aware, give you the, since it's a smoke thing, it should give you basically invisibility toward the enemies, and you could use that to your advantage as well, or you can trick them into going there and fighting them. But anyway, it's time for Monsoon fight. So first thing I do is I run over here and I wait for him to come toward my way. He gives an audio/visual cue when he's going for a smoke grenade, by the way. When he lifts his 2 arms up, he's going for a smoke grenade. Keep that in mind. Just prepare that he's going to do a smoke grenade no matter what. And if he does hit with the smoke grenade, you do take damage. Bear that in mind. So why do I run to that corner? Well, the simple reason is if you run to the corner and you have your back turned in the proper position, he'll actually go for a flying attack, which you can parry. He'll back up into the wall, get the parry, do a ton of damage, knock him into phase 2, which we're at right now. So that's how you do that. And yes, you have constant Ripper mode. You have no way to turn it off. And thankfully they kept that in anyway, because that would have sucked. That would have made the fight even more obnoxious. So now he's in his psychic form. I use his size against him. And as soon as I saw him, I immediately switched to Pincer Blades, which I don't remember exactly why this is preferred method, but I think it was Big Benedict I saw a long time ago. I think that was one of his pieces of advice that I've kind of kept over the years, was using Pincer Blades on his fight. I forget exactly why it was, but it's there. So, charged attack. You want to wait a few seconds after the pincer blade charge attack for him to get back up completely and start to run. When he starts to run around you, that's a good time to hit him. Because he has got some really ridiculous iframes on him that once he gets back up, he just won't get hit. And even if he does get hit, he takes so little damage, it's not worth it. A regular triangle hit without doing a charge attack should knock him away when he does get back up. At least his AI monsoon fight, it does it for, so that's something else you can keep in mind too. It does decent damage. But basically, all you gotta do is just charge, wait for him to start, running around, and get like just a nice bit of damage. And now once he's down to 40%, he's going into third phase. And yeah, basically, the phases work, I think it's like 75, 40, and then 10. I think that's the health phases properly. So for this, just block it. You don't have to outrun it, just block it completely. Just wait for it to come toward your way and just block. You only got to do it twice, not too difficult. And then just blade mode, slice once, and then it's just done. And then, cool action scene, let the music play. And of course, for this, you basically just need to block. I'd say just stay in place and just continuously block. Don't worry about going for parry, unless you're good at it. Don't worry about going for parries too much. Just try to focus on not getting hit in the slightest. That's kind of... I mean, obviously that's the thing you should be doing, but still. Now, do bear in mind that his psychic form will go away after a while because he'll start doing a combo attack on you. And when he does that combo attack, you just basically parry it, which I got really lucky right there, by the way. When he does that combo attack, if you continuously block it, you'll eventually get a free parry, and then it'll just knock him into blade, blade mode. So, there's that. The worst part about this entire fight, in my opinion, is cutting down, like, the tanks, the Humvees, or, whatever. Cutting down the vehicles, basically, that's going at you. Because you have to be really quick and really precise with this stuff. You have to know how many are coming your way and which ones are coming your way in this particular part of the fight, because he will throw like 5, 6, 7 different things at you, and it really just sucks. So again, make sure you're cutting in the right position, doing verticals for verticals, horizontals for horizontals, and just cut them more than once. Cut them more than once, just make sure that you cut them a few times, just in the off chance that even a part tries to hit you. Again, if you don't have, size ready and ready to go for an attack, you could just use EM Grenade to do that. Do some damage. Up Light does decent damage on him when he's in his head form. Not necessarily the most recommended attack, but it works nonetheless. And then once you get him down to 10%, you're pretty much good. All you gotta do now is just block. And if you mess it up, you're gonna have to start the entire fight over. He has no checkpoints in mid-fight. And it's awful. Monsoon, it's just... oh my lord. He made me so miserable and so angry fighting him. But yeah, he's at least done, and he is 1 out of 3 of the bosses I would say that are the most annoying. Sundowner's fight, not necessarily because Sundowner himself is too hard, but because of the way his fight is laid out. The helicopter, the 2 enemies you have to kill to get Zandatsu's for, and then you got Armstrong with Excelsis, and you gotta get at least 2 Zandatsus in that, and it really sucks. But we'll of course get to that when we get to that. Right now, we gotta just, run on top of this little, statue tower thing here. Go on, cut on through, get the quick time event, and then, of course, just slice him up and moiderize him. Also, completely off topic, but I saw, the leaked Wolverine Insomniac Games trailer, and it was like, I don't know. It doesn't look too bad, but, like, man, it got me thinking, like, I just want to see a Platinum Games Wolverine game. And I mean Platinum Games as in peak. Like, peak Platinum. Like, Transformers Devastation, Metal Gear Rising, Bayonetta peak. God Hand, Clover, Mad World peak. But now we got all this non-peak Platinum. But anyway, that's enough Doomer talk. So that's it for this chapter. Hope to see you guys in the next one, which will be Sundowner. And as always, take care, everybody.